dare you question my integrity as a film reviewer? I've seen more films than, Disclosure Day. Steven Spielberg returns to Aliens and disclosure to the masses in Disclosure Day, and it comes in at an 82% on the tomato meter, 74 by the audience. So it's a little bit of a I'm not sure about this movie kind of feeling going in. And I gotta tell you this, my initial reaction coming out of it was, it's fine, I suppose. Disclosure Day. If you found out that you weren't alone, if someone showed you, proved it to you, would that frighten you? That's the tagline for this? IMDb, come on. Yeah, the marketing of this movie was questionable, and I question if it was going to be effective or not. And I think this weekend will show us. It stars Emily Blunt, Josh O'Connor. Emily Blunt is the standout in this for sure. Colin Firth is good. Eve Hewson, Colman, Domingo, and Wyatt Russell round out the cast here. But you got the impression from the trailers of this movie that this was going to be about, well, disclosing to people that aliens exist, right? And how are people going to react? Like, how are the masses going to take this? And it's kind of like, that's not what this movie is really about. They don't show up until like the last part of the film. And I mean, really the last part. This movie is more of a chase movie. This movie is more about the government chasing Emily Blunt and Josh O'Connor because they're going to let the truth out. Well, that's the premise. That's the premise of the movie. It's fine as a chase movie. Just know that you're going to get that in this movie. You're going to get a chase movie. It's about chase sequences. Oh, there's cars being pushed around. Oh, they're going to be chased out of this hotel room. They're going to be on the run. That's what it's primarily about. And when you realize that in about an hour and 40 minutes in, and it's like, well, have we really touched on the aliens? No. We're just following these people being chased around, and it's going to work brilliantly for some people. But for me, I just found myself kind of like, yeah, the action and the cinematography is well filmed. Spielberg does a good job with that. But for every good action sequence that there is, there's also some really questionable CGI, like where people don't look exactly all that real. And it's a little shocking that from Spielberg that we would get quality like this, where it's like, this looks like something out of Adventures of Tintin. It's really not great CGI. And I get, okay, I don't want to build the sets. Oh, it's supposed to look like a dream. Don't you get it? But it's like, my brain automatically goes, it's just CGI. And because of that, when we do get to the ending where it's giving us some reveals about what we signed up for as Alien fans, it's kind of like, well, this is supposed to be definitive proof, but my eyes are telling me that, yeah, this is just CGI. This could also be AI just telling us, like, when they try to show us the substantive evidence that aliens exist, it's kind of like, there's a part of me that's like, you didn't build this up enough and you're not paying it off well enough, because my brain still goes, that's CG, that's AI, that doesn't look real. And you know that Spielberg wants you to believe that it looks real. It's just not, because of the way that this was set up. And I think that just goes to the testament of the execution of the story, where it's not one of his best efforts. That's what I would say. It's kind of like, you had a good idea, but for some reason you put the good idea at the very end of the film. Right? What? No, we want to know how people are going to react. I want to know how people are going to react. And it's like, we're just going to watch these people get chased through the entire movie. And that's pretty much what it is. So with that being said, let's go back to the tomato meter here and figure out what people are saying here, what the critics and people are saying. It is certified fresh. Katie Walsh from Tribune News Service says Spielberg and Koepp dive into the spiritual and the existential with this political alien flick. And while the destination isn't as exciting, the journey itself is deeply moving and brilliantly executed. I see. No, I don't even know about that, because in normal chase movies, you want to get away from somebody. And there's one sequence in this movie where he's like slinking around a fence, and I'm like, what are you doing? And they can't hear what you're doing when he's obviously making noise. It's like it's that kind of stuff, guys. And because it's Spielberg, I think a lot of people are giving that stuff a pass, and you shouldn't. You shouldn't. New Statesman says Hokum has more earnest exponent. Somehow Spielberg makes Hollywood films that are entirely his own. What the heck are you talking about, Sexton? That doesn't even make sense. Bo, audience reviews. Love Spielberg, but this was a stinker. Every character is poorly drawn. Who cast this thing? One of the lead baddies looks, I don't know what you, probably, no, you can't say anything about Emily Blunt. She's awesome. JL, loved it though. Great story, acting and direction. Spielberg is back. Emily Blunt is simply amazing in this role. And yes, she is. She is really good. What an incredible actress. But this is a testament to what fandom sort of is right now. You can't even spell, like, I don't mean to rag on you and belittle you on this. We all had our typos on the phone with autocorrect. But it's kind of like people are telling you that this is one of the best films ever and can't articulate their thoughts properly or coherently. And it's just like, that's what you're getting. So if somebody's jumping around saying happy, happy, happy thoughts, then you also will want to hear happy, happy, happy thoughts. And I'm just going to tell you that just temper those expectations, right? Temper those expectations, because if you go into this thinking that this is going to be like the best Spielberg film from a long time ago, no, I'm sorry, The Fabelmans was a way better constructed film than this. Disclosure. Any other notable critics here? Amy Nicholson, LA Times. Decades after Spielberg unveiled his signature shot, a face amazed at wonders we can't see, he seems wearied by his awareness that today's moment of revelation will look like a person staring at their own phone. Yeah. Let's talk about that. A face amazed at the wonders you cannot see. And that is a signature, I guess, Spielberg shot, where it's kind of like you're looking at something, we can't see you, but we just need to see your reaction to it, right? And we see that a couple times in this. And in fact, there's stuff like when I say that they don't show you the alien stuff to the end, they've got these tapes of proof, and you just see somebody watching it, and you see the reaction to it, and it's kind of like, there was a part of me that was like, this is an old trick of yours, man. You need to show us this stuff so that we can buy into it, not just somebody's reaction to it. And you say, well, that's just an artistic choice. But I remember this shot in, I'm sorry to say this, but Obsession, where something happens and the guy turns around and he just looks at something, and you just see that, oh my God, what the heck is that? Like it's just filmed better. It's acted better in Obsession than what Spielberg was doing here in this movie, with people looking shocked at things. And it's just a door that's been like completely duct taped over, and it's just like that. That's what Spielberg wanted you to feel, and I didn't feel it while people were watching. Well, I was watching Disclosure Day, so that's the way that I'm feeling about it. Let's go over to my score sheet and fill this out. Acting, directing, and story are out of a possible 2 points. Cinematography and score are 1 point. Acting, Emily Blunt is great in this. Colman Domingo is really good. Josh O'Connor's fine. It would have been serviceable, except for Emily Blunt does some really, really good stuff in this. Like she really looks tormented by this ability of hers. But the directing, as I said, some of that lackluster CGI and the execution of the story at the end, it's just like, you want to believe it, but it doesn't feel real, because it doesn't feel like we're seeing the actual stuff. It feels like we're watching CG AI stuff. And it's like the big reveal of a spaceship, but it feels like, is that real, or did somebody just make that with ChatGPT kind of thing, right? And that's where it comes down to the execution of the story. This is a chase movie. This is not an alien disclosure kind of thing that pokes questions at the thoughts of it and the implications of all that kind of stuff. It's really not about that. Cinematography and score, it's well shot, as I said, and the score, John Williams, it's John Williams. Watchability factor, if Aliens intrigue you, Spielberg intrigues you, it's worthwhile watching. I could maybe bump it up a little bit because of Emily Blunt's performance, but I think if I were to go back and watch it, I would only watch clips of her performance. I don't think I would ever go back and watch this movie. So 6.5 out of 10 for Disclosure Day. What did you guys think? Let me know in the comments below, and we will talk about it. You're watching Mirror Domains.